right, guys. We've got Gumiho in the top left side of the map. Classic in the bottom right side of the map. It is a Terran versus Protoss semi-final in the GSL. And of course, Classic already has a spot in the World Championship. There is a spot up for grabs for the winner of this tournament. But on the other side of the bracket, there's Hero and Rogue in the semi-finals. So, Hero also already has a spot to the World Championship, which means essentially Hero and Rogue, winner of that semi-final. If Hero wins that and Gumiho wins this match, he has a spot in the World Championship. But if Rogue wins the match, Gumiho needs to win this semi-final as well to get a chance in the finals to get that spot to the World Championship. That being said, I do think Gumiho has a chance in the closed qualifier. I believe he's in there for one last chance in about, I think it's 1 week's time. You guys can confirm or not whether or not Gumiho is in that closed qualifier for that last chance spot as, oh my lord, Classic has been very good at checking for these. And I think Gumiho maybe not studying his opponent, because remember guys, Classic against Maru at Dallas the week before, was 2 weeks before this match, checked every single game for that proxy barracks. This is a really rough start for Gumiho. His barracks is now going to be about 20 seconds behind. He's probably going to want to go command center on the high ground before going for orbital command center. Would be what I would want you to do. That's what I would probably be doing. Classic can kind of block it, so we might have to build it down here. We really want to put that down now. He's got to place it now. 400 minerals. Got to spend that money. Oh, Gumiho, mate. Unless you're gonna go immediate factory orbital marine. Okay, he is going to go factory orbital marine. Okay, this makes sense as well. I was going to say, because if we're building a Reaper, there is no reason to be delaying here. With the delay barracks, but this actually makes a lot of sense, because he's actually skipping the Reaper, going marine first to get his tech up. And he's happy to delay his command center a little bit. And this is all just off one gas. Whoa, sorry guys, a little bit of a lag spike there. Sorry, when I swap to the player's vision, sometimes that lags. Actually, that was just always on my old computer, wasn't it? Or my newer computer, because it was failing. This computer doesn't have that. We just had a random lag spike for whatever reason. Sentry coming out now. We got the Adept there as well. Shield battery is going up in the main base. Adept Sentry Shield battery. A very safe play for Classic. Is it necessary to build a shield battery when you've already denied your opponent's first barracks for like 20-30 seconds? I would argue no. I think this is not just overly safe. I think this is unnecessarily safe. I also... yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. If you've got the 100 minerals anyway, I guess, but it's fine. Oh, he goes Marine into Reaper. Oh, so it's a delayed Reaper and a Cyclone, is it? Oh, no, he cancels the Marine. Okay, so he just wants this scouting unit. Interesting. Now, you can actually force field block him here from either escaping. Oh, actually, sorry, there's 2 jump-in points. I forgot. Never mind. I still get the maps a little bit confused. I don't know about you guys. They're still new enough for me that like sometimes I get like Pylon. I think Incorporeal is the one where there's no Reaper ledge at all. Like you can just jump in the front. I think that's Incorporeal. Which Pylon has 2 little mini ledges right next to each other. 2 barracks coming up very early. And it's spotted. Starport going down as well. Gumiho loves his 2 barracks marine pressures. How can Classic defend this? It looks like it's going to be a... oh, 4 gas charge storm 2 base build. Okay. Now this is so funny because, yeah, it's going to be just marine, so charge and storm probably shuts it down. On the other hand, you could rush Colossus. You could go 2 base Colossus charge here. That's going to kind of wreck the marines even more. The only problem is obviously that... oh, he's actually going to go Tech Lab, not Reactor. Oh, this is so fast. Is he going to... is he just building a Raven? And then he'll build a Reactor and swap over, maybe. Doesn't have the gas. Okay, there we go. Okay, Raven. Yeah, Raven. Okay, wow. Gumiho's builds are so weird, aren't they? Anyone who's like a high-level Terran player, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Anytime you try to copy a Gumiho TVP build, you're like, whoa, this is so different to how we normally do things. But he just creates these different flows, these different openings, different pressures, different time he's got to watch out for. Classic going 6-gate charge before 3rd base. Reaper's going to be able to maybe deny this probe. Stalker Sentry's nearby. Classic doesn't react instantly. And he's going to lose that probe. Nice move for the Reaper. Delays that already delayed 3rd base. And there we go. Yeah, okay, so he goes for a Raven. He's going to go to do some auto turret harassment, and then he goes like this. Raven not very good against Storm because you can always make a High Templar and feedback the Raven on the edge. Feels like Classic, even though his third is late, I really like his position because he's going to have Storm and Charge finished, and he's still going to go into Blink afterwards. It just feels like he's got plenty of control, and I don't think Gumiho, with no third barracks and no third command center, the transition off of this is always a little bit awkward. Okay, scans to get rid of the Observer. Man, dealing with hallucinations and Observers, that's tough. Raven gets feedbacked, and you can see what I'm talking about. The Raven suddenly becomes a Garbo unit. I think you can just fly this out, or you can leave it back here for like the entire game. Just try not to F2 it out of here, see if you get some value. Cyclone over on this side. We've got a double drop of Marines moving down the left. It's not completely full. Maybe he could catch it if the High Templar are a bit too far out of position. Going to lift the reactor off right now. Build another one. Is he going to build another barracks? Oh, mass Marine. 2 barracks on reactors. I think Gumiho wants to do a 2-base all-in, but I don't know if I like those against High Templar builds. He didn't think he was going to be able to get the Nexus, so he goes deep looking for probes, pylons, battery cancels. Loses a Marine, gets a bit of damage. Does get a feedback, though, does Classic, getting rid of the healing energy on that medevac. Third command center goes down on the location. Gumiho's like, wow, you're so turtled up. I'm going to be greedy. But I think, yeah, exactly. I was about to say, I was like, the thing is, now you've got your third up. You've got Storm everywhere. Classic should be able to just add forges and kind of say, oh, I'm comfortable. Like, as he probes up his third, he could take these gases and maybe even go Robo Bay before 4th base if he wants to go crazy heavy on the splash damage and the tech. Raven hiding in the back. I mean, it feels like Gumiho, he's still got a decent workout. It's not like he's miles behind, but it's going to go to the later stage of the game. And I just naturally think Classic's the better late game player than Gumiho. Gumiho's really good early, mid game, tactical, like little pushes, pre-planned timings. But I think the longer the game goes, the more it gets away from pre-planned attacks and it becomes more play by flow, play with map control. I do think the power of Protoss vision, warp-ins, and recall starts to grow the longer the game goes. It becomes less of a, oh, I've got to recall because I'm caught out of position, and more of a, haha, I can recall to reposition my whole army, have fun dealing with that. And that's always very, very tough. Now, drop comes in from that side. No High Templar in the main. It does feel like Classic clumps this High Templar an awful lot. But he's going to send the Storm drop and some Stalk warp-ins to deal with it. And of course, the High Templar in the prison will push that one away. Stalker's going to get rid of those Marines. It's so scary dropping into Storm, isn't it? You really want to be like diving the left with half your army, dropping the main with some other army, auto-turreting the natural. There's batteries on every base. Classic's army looking solid. +1 armor does come in for Gumiho as well. He's got 2 more tech labs coming in, so it looks like he is up on 5 barracks now, and it's a pretty solid wall off as well. So I kind of like the idea of having a solid wall off as a fallback point, even though right now, there we go. Yeah, that's going to be the opening in the middle. This is cute. This is really cute. So he's got this like defensive fallback spot. If the charge lots try to break him, he can always fall back to these siege tanks. But right now, these SCVs are exposed, and that's the problem. Oh, the medevacs! Look at that. Look at that. Saves the SCVs. Oh, that was so cool. He's going to go for the drop inside the main base. But energy recharge High Templar going to be a problem. Oh, Gumiho takes a big storm to the chin. Oh, okay, does save some of the Marines, but one of the medevacs goes down. A lot of the Marines did fall. 4th Nexus and Robo Bay both on the way for Classic as he's on 5 gases. Marines are going to force this back, but of course Classic will easily get rid of that drop. And he's feeling really good because Gumiho, even though he saved his SCVs, the fact that he's cowering, not even with a 3rd base right now, is really bad. And he's still building siege tanks, which are really good against like slow long range units. They're not very good against Zealots, Archons, and this sort of army setup. Oh no, here we go! And this is just a great push forward. Some EMPs land, but I don't know if it matters too much. There's still Storms sitting inside that prism, I believe. And indeed, he's going to keep dropping those out, throwing these zoning storms as the tanks try to drop on top. The Zealots are going to come forward, and Gumiho stopped at every turn. Not only hallucinated Phoenix, but also Observer's early game. Classic using vision against a player who usually relies on sneakiness in TVP. This meta is actually really hard for Gumiho. All right, that was a rough game 1 for Gumiho. And I think he might be going for something that gets, you know, skips a Raven or goes straight to 3 racks or actually pushes a bit more. I think one of the things we've seen is not only the early Cyclone, but a willingness to move across. So one of the things like I've been learning from guys like Maru, Clem, I will often open Cyclone in this matchup. I don't know if this is the correct thing to do, right? Just kind of theory crafting out loud. And because of these sentry openings, I will move out with like my first 6 Marines and Cyclone and just move across the map. And also be like rallying a tank behind it, but not actually like I'm always in a state of TVP in this matchup if I'm not actually committing. I can't, like I might. If the guy's totally unprepared, I might. But I'm just trying to act like I'm all in at all times. Like, hey buddy, I'm pushing you, and I'll often even bring 2 SCVs with the tank to try to build a bunker, but like I am willing, if the Protoss seems to be treating it really seriously, to just like walk home. And I'm always adding the 2nd barracks, the 3rd barracks, all these sorts of things and building to the next step. And the idea is making it so that you are kind of unscoutable, right? You make it look like you're all inning. And if they see all that and they seem ready for it, then you actually aren't really. You're macroing behind it, right? But just by moving on the map constantly, like, it's kind of similar. So if anyone's ever played against Maphacker and you understand, basically playing versus map hackers, the theory is you constantly have to be active on the map at all times. Because otherwise, if you're just like hiding at home and then moving out with very like set timings, it's too obvious like what your real goals are and what you're committing to. But if you're just always running around the map doing things and looking for opportunities without being 100% committed, it doesn't matter if your opponent has more vision than you. And that's kind of sort of the mindset that I think a lot of Terran players are moving towards, where they're saying, look, you're investing a bit of your chrono boost energy into these sentries, you're slowing your tech down a little bit, you're trying to see what's going on, so then you can make an informed decision about exactly when to build the army that's necessary, how far you can push your economy. I'm just going to make it hard to read that. I'm just going to like do this kind of middle of the road, in your face, kind of running around with army sort of stuff. And as long as I'm doing that, it's very hard for you to figure out where you can cut a corner to get ahead, where you can be greedy. For now, though, very defensive opening for Gumiho, but we'll see if that lasts as the game continues. Straight Twilight, it's on the natural, so Reaper, if it jumps up here, it can usually see what you've built. But here, if you've got an Adept out front, you can block him from scouting what you're up to. Of course, don't think Gumiho cares. Looks like he's going to be going for a Starport swap onto the Tech Lab very early. Looks like a Banshee opening to me. A lot of people have been going single Banshee with no cloak. I don't mind it, but I do like the Cyclone. And yeah, he is going to start with the Cyclone first. So maybe Cyclone, Medevac, and then swap them over. I think probably Classic's biggest recent disappointment was his match against Maru at GSL. Sorry, at Dallas. I think the game on Ultra Love, he had Maru super behind, and he really didn't do anything with it. Kind of chilled. He kind of looked afraid to push in when he had the advantage. And I think that was the one moment where Classics looked hesitant in late game. I would talk about that more. I just don't think he will ever be that hesitant against Gumiho, because I think he just feels like he's the better player against Gumiho. Whereas against Maru, I think everyone kind of almost has like a mental block where they go, oh, it's Maru. He's so much better than I am in the late game. He's the best late game Terran of all time. I almost think there's like that voice in the back of people's heads that convinces them they can't beat Maru and they can't do anything against him, because he had a lot of room to push in there and he really didn't do much of it. He was poking in and then running away. He looked so paranoid about Maru surrounding his army, even though Maru really was just turtling. Here comes that Cyclone Marine Medevac pressure. Like I was talking about, just keep active on the map. And now, you know, that's a really greedy third base. If he comes out here to defend this... Ooh, no pickup micro with the Medevac, though. Gumiho missing some opportunities. Gets rid of a Cyclone in the depth. Unfortunately, the Cyclone locks onto a probe. He's got to get out of here now. He does lose only a few Marines. Like, this is a good trade, right? That's a great trade, cost for cost. But you can imagine, if he microed that a little bit better, he could have done even more. I mean, this is so greedy out of Classic. Only 2 gates. No shield battery or anything. But the Cyclone took so much damage. What you want to do with the Medevac is if he did a few dodges by picking up Marines that were getting shot by Stalkers to dodge some Stalker shots, he'd be even further ahead now. Because if he had 1 or 2 more Marines, or if the Cyclone wasn't so damaged, this would be really tough. But now that Classic has Blink ready, it's very dangerous. You can see the Medevac almost dies instantly. Because it's so far back, he can't really use it to pick up and drop any more. Marines almost get a Stalker, but not quite. He's going to go for a little drippy-droppy, see if he can pick off a few of these probes, which he'll be able to, but the Medevac does go down. It's time for Gumiho to just shift-click some probes, see what damage he can get, and he's going to get just 2. Overall, Classic defending pretty well. I think Gumiho missing an opportunity against a greedy Protoss player. Those 2-gate third base builds are very greedy. There are openings, and if you go double cyclone, he's even gone triple. Oh, no. Yeah, he's gone triple. Oh, that's such a bad opening. Triple cyclone is so expensive. But, oh, Classic overcommitted. Oh my gosh. Classic massively screws up. The auto turret did attack his own Raven there, though. Gumiho panicking super hard right now. Almost kills his own Raven with its own auto turret. Damn. Is that patricide? Matricide? I like to think the Raven's a lady. I'm going to call it matricide is killing your mother, right? So I think the Raven, if the auto turret kills the Raven, that's a case of matricide, if you ask me. Cyclone there. Tanks are out. Oh, that tank's very far forward, not covered by anything. You can put the tank there, but you need your bio forward. He should have put the tank here instead. Very, very sloppy by Gumiho. I think Gumiho's in a good spot this game in some regards, like his third's almost up. But I think he's going to need to be a little bit tighter than this. He has a Banshee coming out and a second one, but this is not Cloak. I'm not sure if he realizes he's accidentally made Interference Matrix or if he's purposely faking that out to try and get an over-response from Classic. Green Cyclone will poke forward. Depot is going to go down. Great pick-off and pullback for Classic, who's going for Templar Archives behind it. Banshee's going to fly in. Battery will come up at the same time. Cyclone picks off another Stalker on this side. Banshee manages to just get one probe before it pulls back. And looks like we are seeing 4 more barracks, so up to 5 barracks all at once. Double upgrades are going in the main as well. Interference Matrix is going to finish. And, I mean, that will, I guess, give the Raven Interference Matrix, so it could actually help against Colossus or the Storm Drop later on. But Gumiho definitely bleeding out more units than he would have liked, and I do think Classic left some openings. Perhaps a slightly faster Terran. Maybe a bit more calm under pressure. Might have been able to do well. Sorry, we accidentally flipped the scoreboard there, guys. You guys know. When we zoom in and out, sometimes we press the wrong hotkey there. Probe's getting shot down. Banshee's going to rotate behind the natural. Oh, look at that. He makes it recall and he goes straight back. Oh, Gumiho, that's so tricky. Oh, that's actually so cool. Gumiho gets 7 probes. Baits the recall and then just turns around. So annoying for Classic. So, stim, shields, concussive, 1-1. No armory. And he's still building siege tanks. Siege tank TVP, guys. It's been a while. Let's talk about it. It's bad. No, I won't leave it there. Tanks are good for making it so you don't die. They are very bad for winning against Protoss because of their lack of mobility. Okay, good job. Just hides in the corner, does Gumiho. Just hold position those Banshees. Classic can't leave Stalkers and detection there all game long. But basically, tanks can hold a defensive position, but they're very weak against Zealots, Archons. They're good against Stalkers. Decent against, Immortals, Colossus. And they can shoot from so far away, which is nice, but you can't really ever push with them. So if you do this, you really need to have good upgrades, good confidence in your late game. I do think Classic's the better late game player, but we'll see how it goes. He's got 2 Ravens here. He wants the Interference Matrix, the Prism. Oh! And he even does it on the High Templar and the Sentry on the ground as well. 1 tank gets blinked on and taken out. But good defense by Gumiho. That being said, he used up all of his matrices. I would have preferred just 1 on the Prism, I think. Nonetheless, he holds on. Stim is now done. 1-1's finished. Shields. Is he able to start 2-2? He's got the money. Love to see that 2-2 start up as there's already been quite a bit of delay. There we go. And 2-1 upgrades have started for Classic behind it. Classic's going to go second Robo Bay. He's going to go to that late game. Oh, the Storm Drops. Dude, he did so many good Storm Drops in that Maru game we were talking about as well. I shouldn't even be surprised, dude. He's just so sick with these Storm Drops. But does get shot down. I think 10 SCVs for that's not too bad for Gumiho, as long as he can protect this 4th command center, which does remain to be seen. Classic, if he can get rid of that 4th, this is massive. This is why if you can build your command centers inside your base, it's actually really nice. He's going to go double factory with Tech Lab. Is Gumiho actually confident going late game? I've been talking a lot about how range libs are the most underrated unit, and no one goes them early enough. The tank is like a range lib that can't move around very fast and gets produced very slowly compared to a reactor starport, which pumps them out. But of course, you need to get advanced ballistics to turn a Liberator into a range lib where it becomes a proper siege unit. So this is going to be really fascinating because he's got drilling claws coming in as well. So his Widow Mines will turn invisible after firing. We've seen Gumiho play this style before. I think it was last season, and it looked like he had no confidence in what he was doing in late game with it. He kind of just grabbed his army, moved across, got it trapped in the corner, and died. And I remember that was really disappointing. So I'd love to see, you know, here he's playing late game, he's courting late game, he's quite consciously going to this stage. What's the difference in the setup this time around? He doesn't have his wall off up again. His tanks do need to re-siege here. High Templar poking forward, looking for some Stormies, but good defense for Gumi. Now, it's a free pass to late game for Classic. Terran is just sitting in their base, so 12 gateways coming up, 3 more Nexi building. Classic, of course, can gear up. Now, the problem with siege tanks is you can't really chip at them with disruptors and whatnot the way you can against other armies. That being said, there's only a few tanks, 5 tanks, and he's actually swapped to Widow Mines. Wow, this is so bizarre. And Gumiho, he's only got 1 tank on the high ground here. It gives a bit of ranged firepower. What he lacked against Maru in that series, Classic, was building cannon battery outside the base and going for cannons, Storm, and Tempests. He refused to make that transition until too late in that game, and I think that cost him, but I think this army right now is scary enough. He could push in and do some good damage. He's just got to be scared because his army's a bit too small. Walks a Disruptor to its death. He does cancel a 5th base, but notice Classic doesn't really have a warp in point nearby. He's going to Storm Drop the left again, though. Oh, these Storm Drops are so good, dude. And he could go right back. If he wants to be cheeky, he can go right back in there. There's only 2 Robos right now, so he can rebuild Disruptors, but not crazy fast. Gumiho actually wants to push out now. It's a 2-2 bio tank push. Vehicle weapons on the way. 3-3 starts. 4 Marauders being built at a time. Is it an 8 racks? Yeah, 8 racks coming in now. That's going to be really nice. Ghost Academy, you might be wondering, where is it, guys? It does not exist. This is a ghostless style. I love ghostless styles. I was talking about the other day how I really wanted Gumiho to bring back his no ghost straight to range lib style. He's doing a weird version this time. It's kind of like it, but it's just tank Widow Mine bio. And dude, Classic caught way out of position. Big lapse in his map control. Gumiho gets a base snipe. Question is Gumiho really willing to base trade? And who's actually favored in this situation? Gumiho's not really building any army right now. A few more Marine Marauders do start. He's going to split in for the base trade. Okay, this game's about to get super chaotic. Disruptors caught in the open. They get gunned down. Disruptor Storm trying to do what it can, and it will buy a little bit of time. Meanwhile, depots have not raised. Gumiho has even rallied back to the high ground. No, where's his army? Oh, he didn't even reset his ramp. He hasn't even reset his rally. Wow, Gumiho, he's not even raised the ramp. He's not got libs on the way either. Okay, I mean, Classic, it feels like he's going to be able to get into the main if he goes there, but obviously a head start for Gumiho in the base trade. These units, oh, good pull away. Great pull away there. That mini recall looking to catch some units. Luckily for Gumiho, Classic does not dive into the main base. Classic's going to try to come back, and when you've got a Disruptor Storm army, you don't really want to base trade. You want to fight the army on the map. You want to zone it out. You want to wear it down with splash damage. A Dark Shrine. That would help against these Ravens. Can Classic find a way to corner this army? The problem is Gumiho's going to clear out the entire main. Saved a bunch of SCVs here that can actually be used to repair, funnily enough. Some of these tanks are in a very awkward spot, though. He's going to try and move those up the ramp so they're not quite as vulnerable. Classic just can't find a way to fight it. But Classic's still got a base and a half mining, which Gumiho does not have right now. Marauders here are going to try and get safe. Stalkers shoot down that drop. Oh, this double drop snuck in. If he can click on the High Templar. Oh, kill High Templar. Okay, gets High Templar before he can react. Oh, that's a problem for Classic. Recall's not ready. This is the most important nexus. It's going to go down. There's another one on the bottom right side. This bio going to continue. He's still got a bit of bio rallying in from behind it as well, which is kind of crazy. He should be picking up and then boosting into the main now to try to save these units. Gumiho misclicking like mad there, guys. You could see the panic. He just left half those units behind for no reason. That is panic. Gumiho's adrenaline is pumping right now. But I do think he's got himself a winning position just because he's kept all of his production and tech alive. As long as he doesn't let these command centers get sniped, which he's got to be really worried about. I think this command center should hide off in the corner somewhere. Just drop some mules, you know? New Nexus does go down. Army supply is ahead for Classic, and he's still got good splash damage. So even though I feel like Gumiho's army's better, the moment he walks into Storm, it's absolutely not. And he's kind of abandoned his main, actually. He's got so few units there. He's trying to get tanks out. They're not ready. Classic's been so afraid to push that ramp. But he absolutely could go up there. There's like a tank and a few Marauders. Gumiho's not even sieged right now. Big storms do land for Classic. It looks like he got rid of a bunch of Gumiho's Marines and Marauders, damaging them a fair bit. This command center needs to float away. Ooh, okay, that Prism. Gonna get out of there. It's got, oh, dude, feedbacks on the Ravens will be game-changing. Feedbacks on the Ravens could be everything. Oh, more storms. Great storms, but so far they're just wearing things down. Classic has to cancel that Nexus. Classic's thinking about defending this. Mad Lad Classic not willing to cancel it. He loses another 400 minerals. The Zealots are on 2-2. The Bio is on 3-3. The tanks are on sieging. Oh no, a crucial mistake, and he's so clumped. Oh, the mass Zealot storm absolutely wrecked the Ravens, the Bio, the anti-armor missile lands at last second. It does nothing. Gumiho's entire army gets toasted, and that is exactly what Classic needed. Oh, Gumiho, such a disaster there. The moment tanks get jumped on by Zealots and your Bio isn't beautifully pre-spread with Widow Mines in the works, it really is a tough ask. With this command center going down as well, I think Classic just says, hey, I've got the map control, you don't. I've still got 6 High Templar and a Speed Prism. You are screwed, mate. Drop's going to try to come in. Nexus is trying to rebuild, but of course, Classic gets the command center, says, you're out of mining. And Gumiho ends up in this sort of game so often. But I really am surprised that he's playing so late in the game. We saw him do the same thing last season, and I was shocked that he was courting late game. It's such an odd thing, you know. There are guys like Maru who I almost wish they would court late game more often. They would go there and, you know, try and flirt with late game a little bit more. But Gumiho, it's not really his forte. And oh no, Tank's gonna try and pull away. Does get rid of some of the Stalkers, but Maphacks gonna go down. He does at least focus a Disruptor. Gets rid of a Disruptor and a few Stalkers, but without any income, Gumiho is dead in the water. And Classic, it was a big mistake that Classic let the army move across the map without him seeing it. Despite that, it does feel like he's going to be able to get back in control. Just that massive base explosion. The fact that Gumiho's style has so little agency. It gives so much room to the Protoss to build every type of splash damage, all the gateways in the world, take all the bases, scatter the map with High Templars, with Storms. And I'm sure some people would look at this and say, well, you know, he had to play Ghost. I don't think that's the case at all. I think you just, move commanding into the Zealot Storm. That'll end it. I think you just need to have something that has some sort of aggressive moment in there. I think the double Raven, double Banshee, double Raven, triple Cyclone, for me, I don't like this opening at all. I would have loved the double Cyclone and a hard pivot into a very generic Bio Tank or Bio Mine play style. But as it is, dude, is he actually going to... Oh my god, did Classic just throw the game? Oh, I wasn't even casting that because I was like, well, Gumiho's been stuck here with no mining. But he drops a few mules, he defends the high ground. Classic throws his army away. What? No way. Classic. No way. He got way too excited. I am so sorry, guys. I was just like, all right, we're just watching a death animation, but okay, these 5 High Templar need to save his bacon. The Prism was not there. You got to be using the Prism. The Storms are everything. To only get a handful of Zealot Stalker. Oh, these Storms are going to be so big. The Prism goes a little too far forward there. I mean, that Storm wasn't great. That Storm's good. He's still got 1 or 2 more Storms left. And with Zealot Warpins, I think he can break it. I think he can break it, especially with an Archon. 1 more Storm goes down. Trying to drop High Templar on the front line. Lands another Storm. But wait, it might not be enough, dude. He's only got 6 gateways. Oh my gosh, the Maphacks. The Maphacks. If you can get rid of the Maphacks, that's everything. Without the Maphacks, there's no healing. The Zealots coming in. Gumiho with so little rally right now. The Stalker takes out the tank. Another Maphacks goes down. Classic! I can't believe this game. Dude, I thought he had this one in the bag. Am I crazy, guys? 26 probes, I know is not that many. You might be like, oh, mules. But like, there's so few minerals left to mine from. I guess I forgot to factor in just how much he could mine on that base with just a few mules. Because he's only got 1 orbital. But he must have squeezed a few more minerals in between than I realized, losing those tanks as well. Gumiho finally taps out. Oh, Classic. I feel like Classic made this game a lot harder than it needed to be by letting that army move across the map earlier through the middle. But then also just overcommitting here a little bit. I mean, he did have the Prism with this army. He doesn't have many Stalkers. Where are his Stalkers? Oh, because the Stalkers were dealing with the libs, weren't they? That's why. But I mean, he got such a good fight here, but I guess he didn't kill as much as we thought. A lot of those Marauders, like, survived. And then these Marauders kite back, and the Zealots are like, oh, cool, we're getting a great fight. But he overcommits there. He needs to get out and regen his shields, right? He uses his Storms almost all on the SCVs, and then just on 3 Marauders. And then he has, like, the Disruptors go out, but yeah. This was a big overcommitment for Classic. Got a bit excited there. Does save 4 High Templar, though. But, oh my gosh, what a crazy thing. And Gumiho's sitting there dropping like mules one at a time on these friggin' 2 mineral patches. Dude, I can't believe it. He got excited for a second there. But as it is, Classic takes the 2-0 lead. Nice play, Classic. All right, can he get a 3-0, guys? Classic's all over this series. He's in the bottom left side in the red. Gumiho in the top right. He needs to win 3 games in a row, and that is a monumental task. But man, I don't... Yeah, I mean, I don't want to just harp on too much, but we saw a series a few weeks ago. Same sort of thing. I don't think late game suits Gumiho. I don't think he's got the calm control and multitasking of a Maru to do it. I don't think even Clem, even though Clem's very good at late game, I don't really like when Clem turtles late game because it's not his style either. There's like a select few players where I look at them and I go, oh, your late game plan's so good, you should do it. You know, TY used to be one of the better ones at it. Maru was the best for a long time. But those tank styles specifically, I get they keep you safe in the mid game, and maybe that's Gumiho's problem, is he's afraid of getting busted by Storm Drop and Charge Zealots, and he felt like he needed tanks. I just feel like a spread of Widow Mines in general keeps you safe against that and is a lot more fluid. You know, you can turn it into an aggressive style. Widow Mines are more flexible. Siege tanks are just so hard to actually ever get across the map and push with them, and they're so immobile. Whereas if you go straight up to Libs off that skipping the ghost style, actually, I love it. 4th Command Center straight into Fusion Core and 2nd Starport is an amazing, amazing build. There's also an argument you don't need a 2nd Starport for range Libs. Because if you've already got like 6 Medevacs out, you don't necessarily need any more, and you can pump 4 Libs a minute out of a single Starport. So if you're like already starting Libs when you start the Fusion Core, by the time the Lib range is finished, you've got like 8 plus Liberators anyway. So yeah, sometimes we're like, you know, when Terran's like, oh, I need to have a 3 Starport air transition. If you're making reacted Starport units, that's often not the case. Like 2 Starports is actually a crazy amount of money already. A couple of workers pulled off gas there. We'll go for the expansion. It's a double gas opening, and we are going to see the Adept getting chrono boosted. Pretty well-timed Nexus, though. Hey, looks like a reasonably crisp build order. 2nd gas just now getting mining. Classic's been enjoying Twilight Council. Don't see any reason for him to change now. Gonna throw it here, is he? Oh, the Reaper's there, so if he wants to hide it, he won't. He's gonna go Sentry first and delay his tech just a little bit. Gumiho, wow, super tryhard. Alright, 2nd Reaper's on the way. Command Center goes down in the natural. We get a reactor and a tech lab building. And oh, he gets a nice little grenade. Doesn't really matter too much though, does it? Cyclone's on the way out. The Reapers are defending that command center just by controlling that middle area of the map. They're going to rotate around now, see if they can dive in. It is indeed a Twilight Council on the way. Now, this shield battery is really good for defending like 2 Reaper Hellion, which he thinks might be coming. It does delay your 2nd gateway a little bit. As long as your 2nd gateway is no later than about 310, I think it's fine. You can see he gets at about 305. So these Reapers are going to jump in. You could try to trap these with the Sentry from the low ground. You can always force field there. But Stalker pops out, pushes them away. And charge first. Classic's loving charge first. Good way to mix things up. And it just gives you such good defensive capabilities. So if it is like a really early Marine tank push with no stim, charge is an amazing ability. That being said, I still think these non-stim pushes work a lot because Protoss players aren't willing to commit to a 2-gas mass gateway style. That's like a real noob killer build. Shout out to Astra, who took out Big Gabe one map at at Dallas with that, with like a 6-gate charge rush. Solid 1500 MMR difference between the 2 players. Always rare to steal a map at a Premier tournament with that MMR difference, but that was very cool. And he's actually going to go for 4 gateways, which is a pretty decent count. So 4 gates, you know, it's not too bad. Does delay his 3rd base. It's going to be a 2 barracks into Starport yet again. Gumiho loves that 2 barracks. I don't know. I feel like Classic is a little weak to just the straight up 3 racks bio tank all-ins. Like, I think he sees them coming, but he can still get, you can hit him before Storm's ready. Like, for me, just looking at the way, like, Classic's whole formula for this matchup, I think Gumiho's going about this wrong. And I'm not, like, obviously not wrong, but the fact that he's built 2 Cyclones and a Reaper, that delays the transition. And essentially this double drop, if, yeah, maybe he catches Classic out of position, gets some damage. But I just don't think he's going to have a big window. Well, he gets a sentry. Oh, not bad, not bad. Okay. And he's delaying the third as well. The problem with this is it's never going to be a kill move, these sort of cyclone pressures. And every cyclone you build delays your tech labs either getting on barracks or building siege tanks. And we've seen Classic sometimes just so focused on that side storm. If you can hit him before 6 minutes, I guess 5:20, 5:30 is probably the optimal timing to shove. So it would be like maybe pull a few SCVs and go with like 2 siege tanks and a pack of Marines off of 1 cyclone opening. I think that build's really good against Classic, even with charge first. Because I don't think he'll have enough units up in time to defend because he's rushing 4 gas storm. So because the third is delayed, it feels like Classic safe, but I actually think there's still a timing that kills this sort of build. Like we saw Hero as well struggle against Maru, trying to do the same sort of thing. A lot of Protosses feel like if they've delayed their third, they should be safe against everything. And I think if you hit hard enough, that's not the case. Storm's not ready, though. Storm's not ready. Stim is. Oh, gosh. Oh, Classic. Uh-oh. Classic's in trouble right now. But wait, Storm's going to kick in any moment. Gumiho. Gumiho, you have no idea when Storm's going to finish. You need to get out of here. I like him picking off a few Zealots. If he just leaves now, this is excellent. But he's got to get... I mean, you've seen High Templar with energy for the last 30 seconds. You know Storm's about to kick in. Gumiho being so greedy. He's got to get out of here. Luckily, the first Storm kind of sucks. Stim and Scan takes out the Observer. This is great for Gumiho. And he's going to stay on the front, which is very brave. Non-combat shield Marines. Got a siege tank there. He's going to try and just spread Classic out and kite him down. So dangerous, though. So dangerous. Oh my gosh, those Marines. Go home, Gumiho, please. Oh, he's going to go double lib in the main? Dude, he's really committing to this off 2 barracks. Cyclone's very low. 4th and 5th barracks will go down. 3rd barracks is there. Looks like he's going to maybe put this on the reactor, or he's going to build a new tech lab. Okay, he's going to swap. Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's a good swap. Good swap. Double lib's going to go siege the main and the 3rd while the army rotates up the north. This is really high pressure opening. Gumiho does not want to give a chance for Classic, and he did get good damage before Storm was done. He's traded 12 times more efficiently than his opponent. Loses a Marine there. Messes up that as I say it. Ooh, Cyclone almost takes out the Prism. Does some good damage. 2 Cyclones still alive, adding that anti-air firepower that's needed. The Lib's actually going to zone out this side really well. There's no blink, remember. Ooh, these Stalkers and Stormers trying to do some damage, but they are in big trouble. Super exposed right now. Lib's going to re-siege. The Bio very wounded. There's so few Marines. All the Zealots are doing really well. The Cyclones do get some damage, but the tanks are getting taken care of. Both Cyclones will get jumped on. No, one of them somehow does survive, but a lot of important Terran units going down. Protoss defends his 3rd base. Classic holds on. 3rd command center, though, for Gumiho is on the way as he adds a tech lab and a reactor on his 4th and 5th barracks. What a hectic early game. But the units lost trading has gotten a little bit closer. And with Storm out with Prisms and a 3rd mostly saturated, I think Classic could maybe buy himself some room. Going to go for the attack upgrades rather than armor here. 4th Nexus is what he's thinking about. Denying this 4th Nexus, even just for a few seconds, is really big. Blink's not ready. But Stim's in, and with the army right there, Gumiho's going to have to think about running away. Chat saying, when were these played? Chat says GSL a month ago, not sure. Welcome to the StarCraft NA community. No one knows what's going on. This is like 2 days ago, guys. This is the top 4 finals was played, I think 2 days ago, maybe 2.5. About 2 days ago. Would have got onto these replays a little earlier, but with my computer issues, it's been a bit hard. Oh, ships passing in the night, guys. Ships passing in the night. Bio pushing forward. Those pylons are going to go down in the 4th base, but Classic going to dive on top of Gumiho's base at the same time. He says, defenses for losers. I would have loved him to warp in a High Templar and fill it up with energy, but it looks like he's going full Zealots on the front. He just wants to smash, smash, smash. Nice Storm on those boys. 3rd base is taking big damage. A Storm or 2 at home might do really well. If Classic could split a few Zealots in the 3rd and then recall and crush this army, he'd be in an amazing spot, but I don't know if he'd be able to get that set up in time. And oh, Gumiho! The Chad Ghost just EMP'd 4 High Templar from the high ground. Double Robo, not going to have a chance to get going. Classic was trying to go double Forge, double Robo. He wanted to use the Storm to buy time for himself to be greedy. Cyclone finally goes down up top. The tech going down on both sides. High Templar Prism has to unload, takes out all the SCVs, but he loses a bunch of High Templar. Guys, he's not got it. There's only 2 High Templar. He's got to make more High Templar, does Classic, before he loses all of his production and tech. But he keeps making Zealots right now because he needs basic fighting units. And look at this. Oh, he tries to feedback it, but he can't quite stop it. That Medevac going to get out with a Ghost, a few Marines and Marauders all inside. And he's even going to get the Prism. The Prism. He's trying to drop High Templar to stop this escaping. Another feedback for the Medevac. Still got 2 hit points. Oh, no. Oh, no. Classic couldn't get it. Gumiho gets away with his elite soldiers after ruining the High Templar count. Still, High Templar could warp in here. In the main base, or over here, actually. He's only got 2 High Templar. He's got gas. He's got supply free. Dude, if he warps in more High Templar, this would be so good. Looks like he's made a bunch of Archons. The army is just fighting buildings right now. SCVs are escaping. 4 High Templar warp in. Where did he warp them in, though? Where did he warp those High Templar in? Okay, with the Prism. He's got 4 High Templar in the Prism. Okay, so he warps in a bunch of extra High Templar. So Classic, those High Templar could be game-winning because there's only 1 Ghost that escaped in this 2-hit-point Medevac. Are there any command centers escaping? That one down there will escape. This one's going to burn down. Oh, the Prism! The Prism! Oh, no, he's got no anti-air! Oh, that Chad Viking! Because Archons can't really deal with that. They don't have enough range or movement speed. There is a Nexus going up here. But, oh my gosh, we're going to have to see exactly where this goes. This is going to get really awkward. The Zealot, Archon, High Templar are coming forward. We've got SCVs pulling to that left side. Tank, Bio, Ghost moving around this map. The Archon High Templar roaming forwards right now. The command centers trying to fly away. Can Storm make up for this disparity in the army? I don't know. Command center's going to build on this side as well. A few barracks, factories, starports flying away. 4 Marauders are going to go to snipe the base potentially, or at least kill the probes from the high ground. With only 4 probes against 24. Gumiho knows. 2 tanks, Viking, Widow Mine spread. Ain't no way you're breaking that. And Classic's going to try to deal with this drop. He can feedback it, but he can only do as much damage as there is energy. And you do half a damage per energy. So he needs that Medevac to regen all its energy before he can feedback it out of the skies. Another Marauder drop is going to sneak out the right side now. And it seems like with this command center coming back, he can mine out the main minerals, mine out these minerals, rebuild his depots. And he's still actually got a whole ton of depots left over there anyway. Classic should probably send a Zealot to go clean those up. Oh! Oh my gosh, Gumiho almost loses a full Medevac. Sloppy, mate. Oh my gosh, unnecessary to be boosting in there. There was no reason to be boosting in. You always want to save the boost for the way out, guys. Can you feedback a command center? No, it's a unit-only ability. Same way you can't, like, snipe a building or anything like that. Storm doesn't affect buildings, so on. Even if that Medevac died, I think it doesn't matter. I think Gumiho has this in the bag, but if Gumiho makes the mistake of moving out, a few good storms, right? That's kind of the dream. This 1 hero ghost with 4 kills. Such a good unit. The command center has landed. Mules could drop really nicely. I'm amazed. Like, Classic knows this game's calming down, but he's not sending a Zealot to clean that up. He's just kind of hunting for drops coming in. I don't think he realizes that 24 SCVs escaped. Or he'd really have a bit more urgency in what he's doing. He's building a pylon right now. Like, he's just building some pylons around. He's just like, oh yeah, you don't have any bases. I think we're okay. I guess you're dropping an orbital to drop mules, but we should be fine. But building pylon instead of probes also, like, I don't even know what this is about. Now he's going to go after the depots. And of course, Gumiho knows what to do. Just rebuild the production, right? Get the tech labs back up. Start building the depots soon. He's going to build some more barracks. I don't think he really needs more barracks so much. I think 3 barracks, a factory, and a starport is going to be hard to support with so little minerals, but especially as his depots go down, that's obviously a much more important thing for Gumiho, but he's taking 4 gas instead. He scans. He sees just a few workers. This drop's going to try and get around the north side. Marine's going to scout as well. It's only got 1 High Templar guarding, which a drop can take care of. Yeah, Classic's so busy trying to defend. 6 depots being built. He's going to need a lot more than that as time goes on. 3 Marauders going to come in. Gets the High Templar. Only takes a bit of damage for it. Denying mining time. 30 SCVs against 6, 2 base against 1. Gumiho has this game in the bag. This is a very important victory for Gumiho, but also one that was a little nail-bitingly close. He's been very 2 barracks focused. Yeah, I do still think, if we look at how this game went, if it was just a more committed 3 barracks tank push from the start, I actually don't know if Classic could have stopped that, even with charge first. And I just think there's just not quite enough zealots for the charge to be crazy overwhelming. The fact that he's going charge is definitely very frightening. Normally, classically, you do multi-drop to deal with a charge first. No blink, no phoenix opening. I don't think that works in this sort of situation. So he gets a Widow Mine, damages some other units there. Obviously, that only costs some energy. Gets a Marauder as well. Great pick-off, but Gumiho doesn't really care. He's building Ghosts right now. 3 Ghosts coming out. Just needs to build a few more depots. He'll be able to keep this production going. Marauder's cleaning up pylons. There are 10 probes out, so impressive that Classic was able to even rebuild that much. Looks like Storm maybe took out a Viking. Yeah, he took out the Viking. Oh, okay. EMP baits a Zealot into its doom. High Templar, Archon, and a Zealot trying to chase down these Marauders, which is just cleaning up all of these pylons. Ooh, oh. Yeah, oh, that's cool. He finally got the feedback kill on that full energy medevac. But High Templar goes down, and he'd already killed a lot of pylons, so I don't know if it was efficient enough. Oh, the MPs obliterate the Archons. Storm doing really good zoning damage, but there's just no support for it. Gumiho realizes he can just push through, overwhelm, and Classic is finally going to have to tap out. Alright, guys. Classic does drop a map there, but even then, it was kind of hectic. It was kind of close. And we're going to Maganatha, a giant map. And I wonder what Gumiho's got in store for us. Remember, this series started with the proxy racks getting scouted and shut down, so Gumiho clearly wanted to do some more aggressive stuff to begin, but that didn't work out, and he's kind of veered late game. That didn't go so well. Now he's done a bit more of a fast push off that 2 barracks, and that was a really slick timing where, man, I'll admit, I didn't think the 2 Cyclone Stim Marine push was going to get that much damage. I didn't think there was enough of a window before Storm was done, and yeah, he picked off so many units with the Cyclone, non-combat shield Stim Marines, and now he's doing a gasless 1-Rax expand. Gumiho's going to play late game again, I think. I mean, he doesn't have to. He could still go, like, Command Center, then double gas. But I'm just so curious. Like, what is the go? Oh, it's the delayed gas. Is this the Marauder opening, guys? Is this the Marauder 3-Rax? I keep saying the 3-Rax factory opening. You guys, yeah. Isn't Q's 3-Rax factory opening with a Marauder, where he goes like Marine first, then Tech Lab? I think this might be it. I think you can go 3 Command Center off this as well, but it could be a 3 barracks. It's just very optimized on like the mineral focus, right? Yeah, 3 workers are on gas. So as long as you have 25 gas when that Marine finishes, you can start the Tech Lab. So you can see he's hitting 25 gas well ahead of the Marine popping out. Orbital's a little late in the main. Looks like that's a little later than we expected. Built 1 more SCV, but I think that's just kind of... The build's always a little bit wonky in terms of its timing when you delay the gas this much, right? Now... Oh, it's Marine Reaper Bunker. Oh, sort of incredibly safe. This is meant to be safe against Proxy Gate. This is not just a safety bunker. This is like a safety bunker. This is like even before a Zealot from a natural could get across the map, it's going to be up. And there is going to be a Stalker pressure because there's no ramp here, so this is absolutely necessary. And it's a second... It is a second barracks, though. I mean, he could have got away with second barracks before bunker, but better safe than sorry. And because the Stalker's coming across the map, if the Reaper can go in after this Stalker leaves the base, it'd be good. But I think he's coming in a bit too early. If he veers up, waits up here for like 5-10 seconds, and then comes in, it'll give time for the Stalker to leave. But unfortunate for Gumiho, Stalker comes out just as the Reaper comes in. And that grenade not really going to help. Luckily for him, the bunker is up, but not well placed. In my opinion, that bunker should be down 1 space to fully just make you get a few more shots on those Stalkers as they run past. Stalker just getting a few shots off. He says, hey, my shields regen for free. Your hit points don't. I might as well. especially with only one Marine inside that bunker. Factory goes down. There is a second gas. I want Gumiho to just headbutt. I really want Gumiho to just do like a silly headbutt all in. Second gate's down off of the blink, so it is 2 gate. Not the fastest second gate, but good enough. It's not like there's an obvious opening or anything like that. And I think this has got to be a tech lab, surely. You wouldn't just go straight 2-1-1 off this, would you? He would. He would. He's doing straight 2-1-1, guys. Dude, Gumiho's a mad lad. He's going straight 2-1-1. What in the... Oh my gosh, that's so funky. We are going to see 2 gate into third. No robo. 2 gate blink third. So greedy. Dude, if these medevacs can sneak around the top into like the main base and just like kill a bunch of probes maybe. Or he could sneak behind the stalkers. If there's like 4 or 5 stalkers on the front, he could sneak behind them and then stim on them. Just keep in mind, even though the medevacs hit very early, along with the stim, your third barracks is so delayed. And there's not really an SCV boy pool timing with this. Or if there is, it's much later. Third barracks goes down. Tech lab as well. I want to see him skip tanks entirely. If Gumiho can skip tanks, put this barracks straight on this tech lab and go straight to just biomine, that would actually be a really cool follow-up. Meanwhile, Classic does add his robo. It's just delayed, right? He squeezes the third in super greedily, then adds the robo third and fourth gas. He's got 2 more gateways, so it's going to be 4 gate. I think he's going to go straight charge. I would not be surprised to see Classic go charge very quickly, and if he does, that's very helpful because he's going to need it. Stalker's running into these Marines. Oh, Blink just finishes in time. Medevacs are coming out, but the Stalkers are actually behind this. Oh, huge damage on those Medevacs already. And Stim's not quite ready. Oh, dude. Classic really toying with him right here. This is really good. And he's using a hallucination to track it as well. These Stalkers need to either recall or dive for damage. And it looks like he's going to have to recall, I think. Drops do sneak across the map. They've hidden. But the Observer will find out. Robobay's on the way. And Gumiho, he's kind of second-guessing himself a little bit here. He's not confident enough to commit. He was unsure. He's like, should I go for it? Gets rid of the hallucination. Reaper sees the third. Stalker recall is complete. And he picks up and goes home. So we do have the third barracks is on a tech lab. It's floated all the way over here, though. Oh, no. It floated onto the reactor. Sorry, he's gone double reactor. Oh, he's playing Mass Marine again. The Mass Marine style. And he's building medevacs just one at a time. He needs the guys on gas. Gumiho with a small mistake with the build here. Needs to put those workers on gas. Very gas-starved on this build. And he needs to either drop a 4th and 5th barracks or a 3rd command center right now because he's floating minerals. Gumiho needs to make a decision. He's got a massive worker count. It's going to be 3rd CC on location. Nice move. Observer Stalker does catch the army in the middle. He can stim to chase those away. With the Observer watching him. Gumiho sees the Observer, right? Don't know if he has a scan. I think he wanted to scan there. But he didn't quite have the energy. That 3rd command center does go down. But this is a Mass Marine army, and it falls off a cliff when the Colossus hits, which it's going to hit really soon. So Gumiho is going to need to swap into 2 more Tech Lab barracks as quickly as possible. He does start those. Sorry, I shouldn't look away from him stimming forwards. Bad observing from me. Oh, gets 1. Gets 2. Okay, he's lost a bunch of Marines. Marauder goes down as well. Classic's focus fire has been excellent. That army looks scary. He knows charge is about to finish. Just looking at that army, it's a lot of zealots. Gumiho's going to pull back, and it looks like he's going to have to get into those tech labs. The concussive shells is on the way. His +1 weapon's almost done. 4th gas finally does go down. He's been very mineral focused this whole early game, and he's going to kind of set up a bit of an ambush here, which the Observer will see. Really good. I love the way Classic's managing his Observer to spot exactly where Gumiho is. Too many people just set their Observer up over here, and then the Terrans on their side of the map, they don't move it back and forth. Classic's moving his Observer around. Yes, it gets scanned down, but it's given him so much info about where Gumiho is on the map. Double Forge finally goes down. That's the one thing Classic hasn't had going for him. Very delayed on that, but I think having a 2nd Colossus out already, extended thermal out's almost done, is the most important thing. Because, like I said, this is a Mass Marine army, 26 Marines, only 7 Marauders. Colossus will ruin this army in the open field, especially with Guardian Shield and 14 Zealots. The army for Classic looks better. Zealot run by comes in, and Gumiho does not have an answer to that right now. We get inside the bunker, at least on the natural, but the 3rd base has to abandon. And good reaction by Gumiho. Pushes forward on the front, loses another Marauder there, though. He's going to go for a Doom Drop into the main. These units on the low ground are going to get kind of caught out there, but the Doom Drop could find some damage. He's already used his boost. No recall available. He's going to unload. The tank's actually going to siege from the low ground, which is kind of awesome that tank survived. The Zealots on the natural. Unfortunately, Gumiho's rallying. into the Zealots, but the bunker will eventually hold on. Picks up and pulls back. Good pullback for Gumiho. He's got to get control of his side of the map again. His rally points, or maybe his F2s, have been going a bit wild. I love this harassment, guys. One drilly boy in a mineral line with a dream, and that dream is drilling these probes to death. But look at this. Disruptors coming out. Stalkers and Zealots. Blink is done. The upgrade's so delayed now for Classic. He lost one of his forges, so he's only got +1 armor just started. And with 1-1 almost finished for Gumiho, that's awesome. The drilly boy still drilling as hard as he can possibly drill. Does get the shield battery down to half energy. Very effective harassment. Third base will finally resaturate. But that's a lot of lost mining time, right? This was 3 base mining against 2 this whole time. Gumiho spams some mules down, throws a bunker up, tries to prepare for this next stage. The problem is we're delving into deeper waters. And with 2 Colossus out, the Disruptor transition fully underway. If Classic can defend the 4th base, he's going to be in a good spot, which is why Gumiho moves in. Denies the 4th, gets a kill, not even a cancel, a bunch of probes, and his army's still pretty big, but it's very marine heavy. He clicks on a sentry, clicks on a disruptor, gets a few zealots as well. If he can extricate these boys, if he can just pull them out, that's going to be great. But third base once again under assault. Marine Marauder will try to get inside the bunker. Can he get the repair off? Oh, the repair's good. But a bunch of SCVs fighting there, and his army's got to be careful on the front. Disruptors and Colossus are available. Gumiho trying to stay active on the map. Classic dancing with him. Classic's down 2 upgrades right now. There's no 4th command center. No Ghost Academy as far as I know. 2nd eBay Armory goes down now for Gumiho. He's not a big Ghost fan. Gumiho and me are the 2 Terrans in the entire world who aren't obsessed with ghosts. Many Protoss players would call us morons. I'm on Team Gumiho. He finally throws the Ghost Academy down, but only after the double upgrades. He will add Ghosts, but very late. He doesn't prioritize them. Obviously against Disruptor, Stalker, Colossus, it's not nearly as important against more of an Archon High Templar army. Zealot drop comes in. Vikings will pursue. Speed Prism doubles back. That may be a death sentence. Ooh, Snap Recall saves it. Gets out. Gets out. And now Classic can go down the left side of the map and do that again. Where's the 4th command center, guys? This is the point where Protoss' 4th is so late, though. So late. He's lost the Nexus. Gumiho! What are we still doing here? Gumiho, no! 5 full drops in the open in Observer Vision and Zealot Vision. He loses 3 full drops for no reason at all. So unnecessarily risky. Oh, Gumiho just threw 30 supply into the meat grinder. Not like this. Oh, it's the Matrix meme. That's so painful, man. Oh, no. Okay, he's going to get a few kills, picks up, flies away, but now you're locked into a late game. It felt like he still had the momentum to force a big fight before, like, Storm or anything comes out. And I think dealing with Disruptor Colossus, something Gumiho is going to have a better shot than. Storm, I would say, is actually a technically harder spell to deal with, because you need to offensively snipe and EMP the ghosts while defensively splitting. It's just easier to just use your Vikings to kill Colossus and spread your bio against Disruptors. It's just an easier setup. So I thought this was a better late game setup, but now Gumiho is playing it from behind. Down in army supply. His 4th command center is floating out, but Protoss has the 4th up. 5th base is getting established. Classic adding his probes. Upgrade count's dead even right now. It's a good time for Protoss to fight. There's only a few Vikings to deal with those 2 Colossus. The Disruptor count in this area could be very scary. You can tell Gumiho's so afraid of those balls. Planetary goes up. Zealot drop comes in. It's that same prism that survived. No, it isn't. It's a new prism. Disruptor shot comes forward, gets a ghost. Viking bio does defend pretty well, but look at this. He's in the main base. It's really hard to defend here while also spreading against the Disruptors on the front. Can Gumiho pull it off? Okay, those 2 Disruptors do whiff. Classic not finding the mark just yet. He's going to go for it. Dives forward. Oh, the bio take 1 big shot. 1 Colossus does go down. The 2nd Colossus does take some damage. The bio army heavily wounded, though, and overstimmed. The Prism finally gets dealt with. Only 6 SCVs went down. But you can see Classic's up to 76 workers with full map control. His 6th base on the way. The only problem he has is a low gateway count. He's adding a few more gateways and a Dark Shrine now. And Gumiho, we don't really see the late game as being his forte. He could technically drag his way back into this, but he needs to play like Maru right now, and that means turtling down. He's going to go for lib range. He's got Fusion Core on the way. 2nd starport's up. Got to dodge these Disruptors. There's still 1 Colossus causing problems. There's a lot of Vikings. He's landing them. The Observer sees that. That means that 1 Colossus doesn't even have a direct counter. The rocks do come down. 1 Zealot gets trapped on the wrong side. Whew. Classic catching that triple drop. What a huge turn that was. And what was a very close game where Classic had some really good things going for him, 3-base against 2-base mining for a long time, but the fact that Gumiho denied the 4th for like minutes on end was such a big thing that kept him in a good spot, and then the triple drop going down has swung things back in Classic's favor, and Classic taking a 7th base as well. Oof, Gumiho's got to just turtle this out. He's got the fusion core, doesn't quite have the gas for lib range. Going for 3-3 for now. Extra gases trying to go down on this left side base. This observer sees so much. Tanks out here. I did not realize there was a tank left over from the early game. Goes down, Disruptor zoning the army far too well. Disruptor zoning out so well. The SCVs try to save that 3rd command center. Libs and Vikings take out the Colossus. The Libs will siege up. The command center surviving is amazing. Gumiho. I thought he was just going to die there, to be honest. But he's low on Maphacks. Only 3 Maphacks, guys. And that's a problem because it's hard to notice in the midst of the action that you need to rebuild those, but he absolutely has to. He's desperately going to try and pull the attention away from himself, so he's going to send 2 Libs forward to siege in the middle. Funnily enough, they can just get blinked on from behind, actually, and dealt with. And Classic's going to realize at least one of those Libs can go down from there. And, oh, he moves it, does fix it. Okay, that middle base does get blocked. Nicely done. But that means he's lower on Libs in the middle. Disruptors come forward. Bio spreads back. The Bio deep in the orange. He needs more time to heal. Classic takes out 2, goes for the next Disruptor shot. The army getting zoned. Its stims are wearing off without it being able to actually fight. Another stim gets used. But at this point, it is a bunch of meth heads. That is not a proper Terran army. It's just a bunch of meth heads now. The tank on the high ground, the Bio trying to defend. Going into tanks this late is a sign of pure desperation. The Disruptors taking out the SCVs on the Planetary. A bunch of the Disruptors do get saved from the recall, though Planetary did kill 2 of them. This Disruptor still sieged up on this worker line. Zealots in the natural. The 3rd base has a Dark Templar inside it with 13. Make it 14 kills. Planetary on the 4th may be alive, but Gumiho is on his last legs. His Bio deep in the red with no medevac healing left. And I just don't know what he can do against this, man. What can he do against this? It looks like Classic is going to be finding his way to the grand finals of the GSL. And it's going to be a hard-earned victory, a well-earned victory. Felt like he did a good job of just surviving in this game, defending that 3rd base, catching those drops. And once he gets in charge, he looks so confident in the later stages. Gumiho desperately trying to counter-push with a whole bunch of red hit point units, guys. These Marines and Marauders, man. He's sending dudes on crutches into battle. Zealots going to counter into the 3rd in the natural. Tank is there. Stalker Disruptor trying to fight. 7 Libs with range. Pretty good units, except they don't have range. He has Caduceus Reactor for his Medevacs, and he has 7 Medevacs again, so his healing's back up. Taking the time to rebuild that means that he's given up any counter-attack opportunity, and Classic's back on the front, ready to throw balls. It's bowling time, baby! And right now we are going to see Gumiho acting like the 10 pins in a set of bowling. Classic, of course, gets to be the big balls, and that's always the fun part of the game. If I had to be one of those 2 items in a game of bowling, I'd like to be the ball. I'd like to be rolling down, smashing them over, getting worked back up that conveyor belt thingy, popping out, and then getting thrown again. Classic with a really good 3-1 victory, and honestly, just very solid play all around. It felt like he was really, really solid. I don't even know if he was behind if he didn't catch that drop. I feel like, yeah, it was a little awkward, but I don't think it was like super bad for him, right? I think even at this point, if he doesn't catch the drop, is it that bad? No. I mean, he's down in supply slightly. His 4th is pretty late. He's got Disruptors coming out 2 at a time. We know Classic's probably the favorite in late game. I don't really see... It's a huge mistake for Gumiho. Obviously, this was really bad, and it's a big unforced error. It's unfortunate, but I think Classic was still in a very playable position either way. That was just kind of the massive swing that turned this from a competitive game to one that was massively in Classic's favor. GG, well played.